Hey guys, so look, this is just a quick announcement before we get into the video. There's a sale on our website. Use code SUMMER, all caps, 35 for 35% off your order. Also, if you use code FREESHIPPING70, all orders over £70, you also get free shipping. So hey, that's not bad. And also, there's a selection of models. See if you just go on the website and check it out, you'll see exactly these models are going and they're never coming back. We're going to be making we are making a new website, but this new website will be up in the not so distant future, and we're going to be removing some stuff from the site. So if you're interested in any of this stuff, the Myths of Valor, Deep Dead Space, Order Immortalis, the Chills of Archduke and Mausen, Unchained, Kingdom of Navarredon, and Plague of Lost Swarm, if you're interested in any of these models, check them out. The sale is on until September 1st, but these models, once they are gone, they are gone. We are never doing them again. And hey, 35% off. You can also get our books, The Gas Station, which there is a limited amount left, PDF, and all of our usual models. We've got a ton of new stuff. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead. Look, it's 35% off, so check it out. But yeah, look, sorry about that. I have to do the showing. Now let's get into the video. Why are businesses so dumb? Garbo. Garbo. Garbo said, "Oh, why'd you wake me up, James, so early? I was in my Britney Spears theme. Have you guys seen some of the videos she's doing at the minute? It's really weird. Unironically, it's creepy as sin. Like, it's really creepy."
Yeah, I've been on like a '90s music kit. I've been fucking just blasting Britney Spears while writing books. It's weird, I know. But it's just where I am
what
mentally.
About what's that one? Be my butterfly, sugar baby, come my lady, come my lady. Yeah, that one. Go with that one.
Yeah. Hold on, let's see here. That's Be My Sugar Fly,
sugar baby.
That's from Crazy. That's fucking Crazy
Town.
Yeah. Crazy Town. Hold on, here.
Don't know. Yeah, so if I owned a game store, it would be that on all the time. I would have Be My Butterfly, Sugar Baby,
My Sugar Fly,
baby. And then I would also have You and Me, Babies Ain't Nothing. No, I would play that song anytime a female came into the store. That's what I would do. Anytime a woman walked into the store, I would have like a button.
You and Me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
And then I would like
let's do it how they do on the Discovery Channel.
Come again now. But I would also do, you know, the human dance from World of Warcraft, like the gyrating. That's yeah. I would yeah. Okay, I would call. What would my game store be? It would be professional sexual harassment. That's what I think it would.
So why is your store called the Sex Box? Just curious.
Yeah, okay. So look, Geek Retreat is trash. If you live in the UK, you know what Geek Retreat is. It's pretty much for Americans. It's like a franchise of game stores, and they are absolutely appalling. I don't even know how they're even in business. I don't even know why a game store would need to be a franchise anyway. It's just not.
It's really weird to have a franchise.
Well, what is like
It's like kind of ruins the mystique.
What's like Noble Knights? Is Noble Knights not a franchise?
I don't know what that is.
Noble Knight Games. I'm pretty sure. Noble Knight.
Or is that the online store?
Yeah, no, it's not. Well, it's more than just an online store, so it is. Noble Knight Games.
And there's a Noble Knight online store that I buy stuff from time to time because they have good sales. But I don't know if it's actual store. Or not.
Yeah, it's an actual like place, but I don't know if it's like multiple shops or not. I don't know. It might be. I couldn't tell you. I just know it's like a big store, but like it could be more. I don't know. Look, I'm getting ahead of myself. Like, let's go for this. What do they have to say, Garbu? You jump on. You go for it.
Okay, why are businesses so fucking dumb? Local Geek Retreat permanently closed last week because they were making no money. I found myself going after the gym to play on the GameCube, and all I've bought is a Coca-Cola or a coffee everything. How fucking stupid is the business? They have 12 big tables, which is great, but nothing to buy. There's like one structure deck for 3 different card games and some random D&D stuff. It's fucking shite. There was a miniatures rack, which was of course random Games Workshop boxes. In the last 6 months, they haven't replaced a single box that was sold on the shelf. Slowly it became bare and gross to look at. I've asked the staff why they don't try to stock cheaper, more casual war games like Mantic game stuff. If they had huge Kings of War boxes on the shelf for €50, I'm sure they have sold. They just mumbled back. I've asked a few times if any war game has been playing any war game was being played in the store. Every time the answer was not since COVID. Why did they not incentivize Why did I not incentivize my city's wargamers who have not got any place to play?
What the
This guy fucking Scottish?
My-
Who have not got any place to play here.
Maybe
they didn't sell
hold
any.
on. I think there is Geek tweets in
Who've not got any. They don't sell any models. They don't have any terrain. They didn't run events. The whole business relied on nerds being a cheeseburger and chips for $8.50 whilst they played Magic the Gathering. The store was always busy, always populated, but no one spent money because there was nothing to buy. Fucking reject of a business.
It is, unironically. It really is.
There's a cafe inside there?
Yeah, they would do like milkshakes and stuff, but like the thing is, like where my one was. Okay, so to give you guys an idea, Geek Tweet, for whatever reason, they open up beside other Google game stores that have already been in business for a long time. Yeah, like, you know, and let's be serious, when people have their game store they go to, they have their game store they go to, and that's it. You know, game stores rely...
They build a rapport
game stores rely so heavily on the community that's built around them. If a game store doesn't have a solid... I hate the term, the community, but it is what it is. You know, what other way would you call that? Like a player base?
I'm a proper businessman. A man of the community.
Yeah. But honestly, they're just fucking trash. But this guy has a really good comment, which I thought was worth checking out. And there's a good few other ones that I think really sum up the problems. And I think, like, you know, Geek Retreat is the ultimate example of just how not to run a company. I think the biggest problem with a lot of people that be like, oh, I want to open a game store, is they just want to hang out at their Google Game Store all the time and not actually have any idea.
I think it's fun,
or not have any sense about business. I would not want to open a game store. First of all, you have to put up with so many spargs. Second of all, card players, you guys stink. I'm sorry, you guys do, and you guys know it. Like, what group would you?
Yu-Gi-Oh players know they're a blight upon society in game stores.
What one's worse, do you think? Is it the Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic cards are the worst?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Do you think
Yu-Gi-Oh for sure.
Worse?
When the Magic guys come into the game store I go to, they're usually pretty neat and clean. The Yu-Gi-Oh players leave chip crumbs laying around and fucking bread crusts and shit.
Hi.
Like I would happily pile drive a Yu-Gi-Oh player to death if I had the chance to. I have no love for you or your people.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what I saw that I was so tempted by? I was really big into Yu-Gi-Oh as a child, and I always they were bringing out them decks with the Egyptian god cards, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh my god. Something in me really wanted it, because I always wanted it as a child.
NGL, Digimon had better bitches.
Okay, it may have, but it was just something I saw, and I was saying to Megan about it, and Megan just kind of looked at me. It's like, no, James, you're not buying your cards. Like, I just don't care. You're not buying your cards. Like, you don't even play Yu-Gi-Oh. Do you have any interest in even, like...
Your wife says, no, James, no Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But wife,
I really want it. Like, okay, you know what? I spend enough money on TV on books, so
on chippies.
Yeah, no, I don't have to pay for chippies. Sure, Megan's family owned chippy. That's that.
I know that's the joke.
That was my ultimate downfall. So it was. You should not have access to chippy sausages every day of the week. I'm telling you, it's not good for you. Like, imagine you had access to like KFC chicken every day. You know, it's like, bring us back a few sausages, bring us back some fried chicken. You know that's going to be your downfall, man.
Bring me back a breast.
Yeah. Anyway.
Bring me a couple of drumsticks home, you know what I'm saying?
Alright, so we'll go with this one, will we?
Alright. I'll turn my Britney Spears off. Greek Retreat is a shitty franchise model because it doesn't know what it wants to sell and doesn't communicate what it should actually be doing to franchisees, nor does it do much decent market research. I've seen them open up, struggle, and close because being hashtag Instagrammable does not translate into making into money taken in.
They're not.
They'll open in a town that already has.
They're not Instagrammable by any means. I can tell you that right now. they look horrible. Like the color scheme, the purple and yellow.
I hope Ginny D comes to my store.
Yeah, that's exactly who they're fucking at marketing to.
They'll open in a town that already has 2 friendly local game stores. They'll hoover up the I'm such a nerd tee-hee market and do free babysitting for Zoomers after school. For the former, they might sell a few bits of shitty merch, and for the latter, they'll sell some bottles of Prime if they're lucky. The one in the next town over from me, the social media manager, was literally an OnlyFans e-girl. Fuck it, I call it. So they had someone who knew how to decently manage their various pages and do decent promo pics, but that does not translate into good business. Basically, OP, Greek Retreat, doing that shit again. Geek Retreat is not the average friendly local game store. They sell a franchise to people who think about opening one but don't have the business acumen to actually do all the work themselves. They'll tell those sort of people that's not hard, that you can do it, TM, but that they'll help you. And then either the franchise fails and GR has made some money selling the franchise license and associated guff, or the franchise actually chugs along and GR makes ongoing money from them. GR itself is not the business of opening decent FLGLs. GR is the business of selling a shitty pipe dream to people in this get-rich-easy side hustle economy and profiting off of that.
Yeah, unironically, that's the way I feel about them. Like, there's something really not right about it. It's just, there's nothing in them. I'm not even joking. Like, you go in and the store is bare. Like, there's literally nothing to buy. Like, I've never seen a game store with such little product, you know? And see, this is the other big problem that you deal with. This is the problem that I think is a real problem with game stores, is what do you order in and what do you get in? What makes the most amount of money?
What does your community play is the first question you should be asking.
If they play it, then you need to get it in, you know? There's no point getting in, let's say the Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth, war game. If no one plays it, then don't order the models in, or like Warhammer Hordes or something. Don't have that in, or Bolt Action. But you got to get in what people want. You know what I mean? And like, you know, if you are going to be like, all right, let's order in, let's say, the Game of Thrones war game, let's do that. You best have,
which is base as fuck, by the way.
You best have a lot of people that are already interested in it, and maybe try and get a few people to like run like game nights for it. Like, you know, get people like, oh, do you want to learn how to play? Yeah, sure. You know, do that sort of thing. Like, you got to be doing that. Like, there's so much to a game store. I don't know. It's not what I'm cut out for at all. It wouldn't be something that I would want to do ever. You know, it's such a headache. I would say, honestly, see if you were thinking about doing anything like this, I think you'd be a lot easier in starting like an online store. Like, start online first, and if you can scale it to get to the point to open up a store, then do that. But like, you know, you need to get to the point where you're pulling in minimum like 10,000 a month profit, you know, before you can even think about opening like an actual physical like brick and mortar store. Like, let's be serious.
You have to understand that at some point everyone's going to own everything they want, so you need other avenues of income. Now, what they do correct is they're selling food, because people want to eat where they're playing. That's always the thing that's going to happen. However, you have to also have things to sell alongside that food. Yeah, you need product on the shelves for those who are going to want it, for those who are new gamers, whatever else. Or you have good food, like my local store I go to is called the Pink Elephant, and it has racks of shit to buy if you want it, like card games, Song, Legion, 40K, Lord of the Rings, that kind of shit. At the same time, they sell like whole ass handmade pizzas with like dough made fresh in store, and like sandwiches and shit. So they have the whole thing there, and it's a really nice place to go to, because say you want a milkshake and a fucking pepperoni pizza, they got that shit. They'll make it for you while you're playing your fucking 40K Tyranids, you know, that kind of shit. So say like I owned everything I wanted for 40K or Song or Legion. That's the only game I played, and I want to go to a game store to play. Well, if the game store had nothing else for me to buy, I would go there, play, then leave and buy nothing. However, if I'm like, man, you know, I am kind of hungry, and that sandwich cooking smells good, I'll have a sandwich. Well, that store just made £8.50.
Yeah,
you know,
it's one of those ones.
It's at least some. It's income coming in.
I think there's always something though. Like, honestly, see, when it comes to wargaming, like, you're always going to buy something new. Like, even if you just want to sit down and paint, you know. You see, that's the problem. I thought, like, whenever I was really big into 40K, the part that I actually enjoyed the most was probably the painting. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed paint. I enjoyed the hobby side of it more than the actual playing of the game. Not gonna lie. Don't get me wrong, the playing side of it got me to buy models, but I enjoyed painting the models. It got to the point where I really just wanted to get into what do you call it? Kill team, because it meant like, oh, you know what? I can just like pick up models and I don't feel bad like buying stuff for like other armies that I don't play. You know what I mean? It was just like a nice wee side thing to get into, you know?
Hey guys, do you like models in your tabletop role-playing games? Cause we do too. Do you like having big bitty waifus on your table? Cause we do too. We got human biddies, we got lizard biddies, we got orc biddies, oni biddies, cat bussies. We've got everything you want at neckbeardia.co.uk.
Check the links down below, it helps us out a lot.
Sorry for interrupting the video, let's get on with the story. Also, and the winner of the daily giveaway is this guy! Yay! Woo! Woo!
Look, anyway, in for a chance to win, all you gotta do is like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, automatically entered in.
And to claim the prize, you just send an email to neckbeardiacontact@gmail.com. Let's get back to the video.
Look, let's bounce off this. Let's go for more how to actually make a good game store and what is the requirements of that. First of all, you need to be profitable. Like, if you're not profitable, you're done for. If you go into any form of business and you think you can just it can be just passive income, that's just not going to happen. Passive income you get from almost nothing. What would you get passive income from? Dividends? Let's be serious. And that's
mostly just food, probably. That's the only real quote-unquote passive you'll have.
Even then, it's not passive, because you're going to have people actually working it. You're going to have to keep up, the food standard hygiene, all that sort of stuff. I would say, getting into food is a big undertaking in and of itself. There's a lot to that. On top of everything else, I think the biggest one for making money is buying in cards and selling them, and you need to be selling them.
Card games are hit and miss, though. I talk to the guy who runs the PE all the time, and fucking those card games will either make your year or break your year, because they're very finicky. And some say the game releases a bad deck, so these guys have to prepay for all these card orders. And they don't know if this new deck's gonna be good or not. So they have to prepay for this deck and say it's bad. No one buys them, and they're fucking sitting on money they can't get back. Yeah. So card games are feast or famine.
Yeah. And something like that happened to one of my game stores. It was back when the Office of Assassinorum box set. Remember the box set game where it had all the new assassin models? Do you remember that one? For whatever reason, Games Workshop said no. You have to. The minimum order you can have for these is you have to buy in 10 boxes. You know what I mean? Which 10 is an awful lot to be ordering in. Let's be serious. It's a lot to be ordering in. So you end up having a ton of them ordered in. You had 5 or 6 of them sitting there for a year and a half, 2 years before you got them budged. And again, that's the biggest problem with models. Or the worst one is books. See, one of my game stores, I'm not even joking, has a ton of 4th edition D&D books just sitting there. And what do you do about them? Who's going to buy them? His best bet would probably be to just sell them online, not going to lie. I don't know. See, the problem is I don't own a game store, but I can definitely tell you what's a bad idea. When it comes for me personally, whenever it comes to online, I do print to order with my models. Why do I do print to order? Because resin can be very expensive, and you're going to be sitting on a ton of models. You're sitting on a ton of essentially dead stock. It isn't active again until you sell it. Whereas if you do print to order, it means you've got no you're not sitting in debt essentially. You know what I mean? Because what happens? You go ahead, you print out a ton of models, and then you have to wait until they get sold. If they don't sell, you're fucked. You know what I mean? And you could be sitting on a lot. There was one point I was sitting on, I would say, £8,000 worth of models, and I got to the point where I was no, we're going to have to swap this, because we were just constantly ordering in more and more. We were buying in 10 bottles of resin a week, and printing just non-stop. So we were to try and get stock levels up across the board, but to keep everything in stock was just whack-a-mole. Not fun. I don't know. It's something that I would not want to get into personally, but I think if anyone was to do this sort of thing, okay, you know what? I'll go for it. I'll give you exactly what I would do if I was to start an online marketplace. So the first thing I would do is you want to advertise it, and you want to advertise it well. Now, let's say you've got no money. Well, that's not a good start. You probably have some money to start this off, but let's say you got no money. The first thing I would do is I would start an online store, and I would buy in as much stuff as I can within reason. But if you can't do that, then I don't know. The other thing I would then do is work on affiliate marketing. I would go to any and all YouTube channels, and I would offer them an affiliate code and be look, if you order from us, we'll give you 20% of any orders using your code. How does that sound? And a lot of online creators would be happy enough with that. That's not a bad deal for a lot of people, that's one thing I would do. Then I would also work on the Facebook market, Facebook ads. So I would. Why would I be doing that? Because Facebook has so much information about you. It's unreal. I can tell you from experience that whenever I put money into Facebook ads, if the ad's good, you are on average minimum doubling your money every day. The lowest amount you can spend a day on Facebook ads is about 50 quid. It's not that that's the minimum, but it's what you should be spending, because any less than that in a day, there's not enough money going in for the program to learn. Like, the first day is not a good day. The Facebook machine, the Facebook algorithm needs time to learn, and therefore you need to feed it.
The algorithm.
Yeah, I know, it's bullshit. But you do need to feed it money, and then it will get better and better. And, like, you know, honestly, the best day I ever had with Facebook ads was me and my friend. We put in 50 quid, and we got back close to £400 in that one day, and that was insane. Like, we haven't had a day like that since, but just, I think a lot of people are put off by the idea of, like, oh, I don't want to spend money on ads. It's like, yeah, well, you got to spend money to make money. You have to spend money to make money, guys. I'm sorry.
You need eyeballs on. It's why I'm suffering, because I can't get eyeballs on my fucking books unless it's through YouTube, and YouTube is throttling the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm slowly leaning more towards, like, I gotta buy some ads.
I think it might be worth checking out. Like, Facebook ads might be something, like, worth trying for you, Garbu, unironically. Either that or, like, stealth post. Like, okay, here, this is another one that you guys can do, which
stealth posting,
yeah, here, right, so let's say you're on a Facebook group, and this Facebook group does not allow any form of advertisements, right? Well, I've got a perfect other solution to you. What you do is you make a fake e-girl Facebook account, right, guys? You ready for this? You join a load of, like, let's say you're starting a local game store, or, like, you know what, you want to sell books, you want to sell dice, you want to sell all that type of shit. So what you do is you make a fake e-girl account, and you post a few memes to your thing, and then what you do is you then share them memes from your fake e-girl account onto the Facebook page that doesn't allow marketing. There you go. You've now, let's say it's a decent meme and it gets like 100 reactions on that meme, and because you're going to have a fake e-girl account, you're going to be writing back to all the guys in the comments and whatnot. Chances are you're going to get, out of 100, you might get 5 new likes on your page. And what is that?
James, why is every deal of yours a fucking psyop?
Here, look here. I'm telling you, it works. And guess what? I've done it many times, and it's
okay, Gabra. First step, pretend you're a woman. Step 2, grift. Like, what the fuck?
Well, here, look, that if you want to get, this is the biggest thing. Half the battle is getting your product in front of the right people. How do you go about doing that? Well, you're going to need to do a lot of stuff.
Pretend you're an ethos.
Yeah, pretend you're an ethos. That will help. There's a few other things that you can do, but, like, I'm not even joking. Like, really what it comes down to is you need to get your product in front of people. So let's say if I was to open, I wanted to open a marketplace to sell, like, a load of, like, RPG books. I would go ahead and I would write and I would message every single person that has wrote an RPG book in the past 20 years, and I would ask them, do you want me to put your books up for sale on my site? And what you want to do is they first of all, they're going to be like, well, why? I mean, like, I'm happy where I am. And it's like, look, tell you what, if my job as the owner of this new company is to get your product sold for you. If you can get other people's books sold for them, then that's what you need to do. You know what I mean? Like, you should be acting as, like, the marketer, the salesman, and it's a go-between. It's pretty popular. It's not that it's popular, but it's fucking true. People that tend to be very creative tend to also be pretty dog shit at any form of business. Like, you know, would you agree with that, Garbo?
I mean,
maybe. There's a lot of, I think I know a lot of people that are amazing creative types that are great at doing a lot of stuff. They're not cut out for fucking marketing or business or any of that type of stuff. They're just not. Like, you know, they're just really not. And that's where you need to come in. Like, that's where you need to excel at. Like, you know, and you're really putting people together. You need to be putting the products, the people that create the products, in front of the right customer, you know, and you need to be able to find them customers. How you do that is anyone's guess, but there's a lot of means. There's ways and means of getting the right product in front of the right people, and that's the way I would view it. What would your go be then to make, like, the ultimate game store? How would you go about it? So you want food, you want product.
So the thing is, everyone eats. Now, not everyone buys the exact same game. Not everyone wants the exact same game, but all gamers have to eat and have to drink. So the first thing you do is you make sure that you're a small kitchenette/kitchen that can make some, I won't say gourmet food, but food that cannot be redone by, like, a Wendy's. Make handmade stuff, handmade sandwiches, handmade pizzas, handmade, whatever the fuck, like macaroni and cheese, shit that would incentivize your customers to go, you know what, I'm just going to eat here for today and not over at like fucking McGoy slop across the fucking street.
Well, here.
So, and the thing is that's a big half of it, because eventually gamers will hit a critical mass on things they want to own. That will always happen, but you can kind of mitigate that particular loss by always selling them things they need, paints. I mean, the thing is, what, like, first of all, you gotta realize, you know, how many of the stores are in town. What do those stores sell? What are those stores currently, you know, leaning towards? It was are like certain card only stores. Are there stores where they only sell, you know, I don't know, fucking like 40K or card games, or they only pay like basically like Hobbytown USA is a store where they sell like stuff for like RC cars and trains. They have some tabletop stuff and a whole lot of paint. Well, if you know for a fact that down the road is like this big ass hobby town that sells all the paint you can never hope to stock, you don't go into paint. You sell some small things like brushes and shit, but you lean towards something they don't have. You have to understand and read your competition like like life and death, because you have to, because sometimes it is. For a store, life and death is knowing what you can and cannot sell. If there are 16 stores in your town that all sell card games, don't do card games. You're trying to because basically they're all vying for a small cluster of players as it is, which is gonna be like basically like, okay, we're trying to corner the furry card game market or something. So you have to try and make sure.
There was a good one. One of my friends, who's a musician, he told me a good one, and he said he heard this whenever he went to uni. One of the teachers said it's like the rule of 1,000. What you need is, if you can get 1,000 fans, and you can get them 1,000 people to spend £20, like say they buy like one album or two albums off you like a year or whatever. If you can do that, you can make 20,000 a year, then you're good. Then you've got that. That's what you need. You need your core foundation to be built off of, you know? And if you're able to do that, then you'll be fine. You know, that's really what you need. You need that core. If you've got that core of people that show up every week, that's what you need, you know?
Yeah, like a core base. I guess you would figure out in your game store what your core base is. It's at the 40K gamers, is it the song gamers, it's just war gamers in general. And another thing is, if you're going to try and treat with war gamers, your store needs terrain.
Yes,
and that's going to be an upfront cost for sure. Like, it's going to be it will be an upfront sunk cost, because you cannot make money off terrain, unless you sell terrain, but that's also pretty rare.
What you can do is, okay, so I'll tell you what I would do if I was to open a game store. First of all, it would be online. I would do it online first, and if I can expand good enough and well enough, then I would think about doing a brick and mortar, and it wouldn't be brick and mortar. I would have mine in a warehouse. Why would I go for a warehouse? Because it's big and it's relatively cheap compared to a lot of places, you know, and it would be out of the way, you know, but it would at least have a car park, you know, which anyone can go to. Then what I would do is I would have dedicated areas. I would try and get as much stock in as physically possible. The problem is, I think, especially when it comes to like RPG books, everyone plays different stuff and it's so hard, so that's why I would go for like an OSR sort of system, or maybe go for just I only buy in D20 books, you know, because they're all roughly compatible within reason. So I'd be like, right, we got D20 stuff and that's what we're going for, because you just can't have everything. If you have everything, stuff gets out of date, you get old editions, you got dead stock, you're fucked, you know what I mean? That's really what you're dealing with. I don't know, man. There's just a lot. Oh, you know what I think a lot of people should be doing, which I think a lot of game stores are fucking sleeping on? If I owned a game store, I would buy in a load of, you know, them D&D tables that are TVs with the wood, like the wooden boxes with the TVs built into them.
Oh yeah,
I'd be doing them, and I would be renting them out. Like, you know, so say it costs £2 per person at a table. So say if you wanted one of them, it's £5 per person. And I would happily pay £5 to play a game at that table, because it's better than what I have. You know what I mean? You want it to be better than what you've got at home, and that's what you're dealing with. You know, you need to make...
You want to meet or beat the experience. You don't want to like fall under.
Yeah, because like honestly, like that's the problem. Like if you're not providing something that is better than what someone could do in their garage or their basement, then you're done for it. You're just not going to be able to pull it off. You know,
which is why I usually don't buy Italian food, because I can make bomb ass Italian food at home. And like if I go to Olive Garden, I'm eating like fucking subprime Italian food. Like I can make this for half the price. But it's why I go eat a lot of Korean food food because I can't make Korean food. So you have to know the ins and outs of the business. And like I was saying before, terrain. If you and your customer both have shitty terrain, well, they can just play at home with their shitty terrain or their fucking TP tubes or whatever the hell else, or bog roll tubes, and they won't go to your plug and play. So you need really good terrain. And now I'm telling you right now, good terrain will pull people in. People want to be immersed. My immersion, it will be immersed in the game, and terrain brings that to them. Now, say you're there, you have good terrain, good tables, man, it's a great store. And now let's say, hey, we sell beer here. You will have guys drop hundreds of dollars like a month in your fucking store. Like, like for me, the perfect store would be a store where I can go in. There's great terrain, great tables. I can buy a pizza and fucking slug down fucking like ales or fucking ciders, and like that. That's what I miss. That'd be my. That was store.
My original game store. My original game store. The guy that ran it, it was cool as anything, and it was like, look, you can drink in this store. That's no issue, but like you just can't be obvious about it. You know what I mean? So like, if you're going to be drinking, you can't just like have a go to tins at night. You know what I mean? Like you have to like put them into bottles or put them into flasks or whatever, and like you can get drunk, but you can't be like shit-faced, you know what I mean? But you can definitely like, look, we're not gonna.
And I'm sure there's someone in the comments like, well, what about the kids? Hey, yo, fuck them kids. You know what? Kids don't spend fucking money.
Well, that's one thing I would do. I like, that's why I wouldn't do Pokemon or anything. I don't really like going to game stores, and well, I don't like going to game stores, and it's all like kids stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there was one time I went to an open night for like D&D, and I'm not even joking. I went around and I ended up having to be stuck at a table with like a 14-year-old and an edgy 16-year-old, and I was like, that's gonna be a no from me. I don't know, I just don't really want to play with kids.
This sounds like hell.
The thing is as well, I can't play the way I would normally play anyway, so I have to kind of like restrict I'm already restricting myself by playing in a game store. Like the way I play on Roll20 with the boys is not the way you can play with like people at a game store, you know what I mean? And then play at a game store with kids. Like, no, I'm not interested. I just don't want to play with kids. You know what I mean? I don't.
This store is not fecal land material.
I can't really play Lamentations here. It's not going to work out. And that's the problem. I'm at that point where, like, I would play in person at stores, but they only play 5e where I am, and no one has. There's only one other guy that even has like a remote interest, and the only one he's really interested in is Savage Lands and Vampire the Masquerade, and that's about it.
I guess as well, having beer and food will monetize your D&D games.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they do. They're there for 4 or 5 hours not buying because they don't need war games. They already have their dice. Well, they're going to get thirsty. They're going to get hungry. You know what? They might hate being sober too. So that's why you have these avenues. And yes, you're going to need your license for alcohol and your license for serving food. But yeah, that's fine. So sure, upfront costs. You have to get your food and drink license and your fucking terrain, and you got to build tables. But here's the thing, though: if you build it, they will fucking come and they will game and spend money.
That, and also you need to be active online as well. If no one even knows your store exists, why would they go? You need to be active. You need to be constantly promoting. You need to have.
If you post memes that the kids like, I guarantee you're fucking like soar up in fucking popularity.
Like honestly, but you just need to be doing stuff constantly, and that's what I would say to anyone who runs a game store. If you don't have at least minimum 2 events on every week, I don't know what you're playing on. Like every night needs to be
if you don't have Monster Girl Mondays, you're gonna fail. Okay.
Well, you need to have a night of Pete and Club. Then we'll have a night for this is our Yu-Gi-Oh day. This is our Magic the Gathering day. This is our tabletop.
Like structured days,
you know what I mean. Like this is what we're mostly aiming for. Yes, if you want to just show up and do whatever on whatever day, that doesn't matter. But these are the days if you just want to show up and like maybe go into randomers and do whatever. There you go. That's what you can do. You need to have something. I think if you don't have that, you're mad. I don't know why. There's so like how many game stores have went out of business where you are? For me, 2.
Well, one for sure went out of business. That was Heroes Complex because they had the worst customer service known to man. They would not restock. There's one guy, and I'm gonna say his name, Jeff. You fucking cunt. Jeff had no fucking. This is my personal opinion, which is fact. Like this guy told me to fuck off one morning because I said, "Hey, there's my favorite guy." He said, "Why don't you just go and fuck off?" And I was like, So I did.
I got one for you actually.
And,
Well, no, you go for it. But a similar one happened to me actually. Come to think of it.
Yeah, but like they wouldn't restock or buy in new things. They had horrible shelf management. They had like Warmer Horde stuff that had like an inch of dust on it, and they refused to diversify what they were doing. They were on their laurels so hard, like they wouldn't even try anything. They wouldn't try anything. They're like, well, we know we're the best, and they wouldn't try and improve on anything. They basically sold only like candy bars and canned cola, and fucking I would struggle to find something to buy from them because they wouldn't buy anything I want. They wouldn't bring anything I wanted. So I'll buy a can of Coke, I guess.
Yeah.
So like basically I'll go for a weekend and it would make $1 off of me. Meanwhile at Pink Elephant, I go there, I spend at least $25 a weekend because I go in there. I'm there for at least 6 hours because my only fucking day off is Saturday. Yeah. So I'll go there for about 3, 4, 5 hours. I will buy a pizza or a sandwich, and I'll buy some drinks, and I will fucking just game it out, you know. And it's nice. And then, like, sure, the tables aren't as nice as Heroes Complex and not in All Terrain. Like basically, like literally, I like this. I wanted this guy to succeed so much. I bought the terrain for the store. Nearly for like months, it was just me bringing in terrain. Like I bought, hey, this is for you guys because I wanted to have the best terrain possible, and that's what I did for fucking like months. Because the guy was nice to me and like smiled at me a few times. Like, okay.
Did he make you feel petty, Carbro?
Like,
did he make you feel petty?
It's literally like you son of a bitch. I'm in, you know, because like I've been treated like shit for so long by these games. Like hey man, and the guy's like one day I was bringing in terrain because I was like, okay, this guy's brand new to the area or to a store this big. I'll bring in terrain. He goes, you know what? I really do appreciate what you're doing, and he gave me like a free piece. I was like, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Like literally, he's like, I'm being rewarded for being a good customer. Fuck yeah, bro.
That's another. Yeah.
And since then, just sugar appreciate you good too. Like if you have a like say you have a full house, you go around, you go, hey, like basically like if you're store owner, your house is full, and like say you're in a store. You're following all of our advice, which might be good. I don't know. And like, say everyone at our stores has bought a pizza or a sandwich, and they're all having drinks. And like, you see a guy, like, say there's like a table there who are like 4 drinks in and 2 pizzas. You know what? I'm going to talk to him. Go, hey guys, hope you're having fun. I really appreciate you all being here and buying pizzas. It helps out a lot. You know, just being, dare I say, personable.
Yeah.
Because remember, these guys are giving you their money for a product. That's why when people buy my books and like want to sign one, I always sign thank you in the fucking books because they're taking their money and giving it to you for a product, and that's a huge fucking deal because humans don't just give every fucking Joe Schmuck their money. They only give people they like.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. That's one of the biggest things I think in business. People like to buy from people that they like. Like, would you ever buy anything from Wizards of the Coast in this day and age?
No.
I wouldn't fucking. I wouldn't go near them. I would never spend money on a 5e book. You know what I mean? Ever. I wouldn't. I would begrudge. Like, that's why I never even want to go see the D&D movie. It's like, I don't want to spend money. I don't want to give my money to Wizards of the Coast. You know, that's just not for me.
Because human beings are spiteful creatures. Yeah. And if you burn a human, like me, I never spent money again in that fucking, like, my friends still went there to go play because like, well, we're going to Heroes. I'm like, okay. I would walk in, I would tell them I ain't buying shit from you. I'd walk right by that front desk. I was like, I'm not buying shit from you. And I'd walk, and they give like the stink eye, you know, like I would not buy I would drive 30 miles out of the way to buy shit from someone else because they pissed me off that much.
Well, what happened to me was, so I used to buy a lot of my Warhammer stuff from this company called Dark Sphere, and I think they're based in London. They're kind of like Elemental Games, so they are. I don't know if Elemental Games operates in the US, but essentially it's like an online tabletop store. But either way, I used to buy them stuff from Dark Sphere because they had a good selection of stuff that my local game store just didn't have. So if my game store didn't have it, I would order from them. And there was one time I ordered something off them, and only part of the order showed up. So I rang them up, so I did, and I was like, "Oh, hiya, no, I'm just laying up. I only got half of my order." And the guy like snapped up me on the phone. It's like, it's in a different package. They got sent in 2 different ones. And it's like, oh, oh, okay then. And then he like hung up on me. I was like, all right, go fuck yourself, man. So I stopped ordering from them. So I did personally.
Well, okay then. Like, yeah, like, well then, fuck
I'm
you.
only,
Too.
I only thought like you look, I'm only like it up because like half my order came in. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I was wondering about what was in what happened to the rest of my fucking order, man. It's not like I got told, oh yeah, by the way, it's going out in different boxes. Okay, fine. I don't know. Like, there's no need to be.
Where you go? Oh, hey, sorry, bud. It's in two boxes.
All right,
oh,
thanks.
thank you. No problem.
The thing is, the guy got on as if I was like being nasty. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I was only asking. Like,
where's my order, store owner?
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, guys. Oh, anyway. Where will we go with this? Honestly, there's so much you can do. I think when it comes to opening a game store, you need to make it a place that people want to go. If people don't want to go there, you're not going to make money. Without people in the door, you're not going to make money. Without products, without stuff to sell, you're not going to make money. And guess what happens when you don't make money? The bank comes fucking knocking, and you end up fucking in all this debt. And and it's just not a fun time, which you do not want to be. If you're thinking about opening a game store, do it online. There's very little upfront costs when it comes to working online. I'm not even joking. Shopify, you get the first 3 months for $1. You can have a website for just $1 for 3 months, or $3, sorry, for 3 months. And if you can't fucking get something going within,
for only $3, dude.
And this isn't fucking this isn't sponsored by Shopify or anything, but
sponsored by Spotify.
I wouldn't say no. Here, actually, I might look into it, see if I can get it. Actually, let's see if I can get it. But honestly, that's why I would go for
activate Riz.
Yeah, like honestly, do it online. Fucking sell stuff on eBay. You know what I mean? All that sort of stuff. There's a lot you can do. Sweat the bids on eBay. Get it in books. Sell them off again. You know what I mean? Do what you can. I've actually had some
I know. Saying I know a lot of like online card stores start out. They usually buy a lot of cards and sell the singles.
Yeah,
that's
big money. Single seems to be. I was talking to one of my local game stores, and he says that they would be in and around a bad month for them with singles would be £8,000 would be like a bad month on there for singles.
Not bad
yeah
month.
So that's where I think like I know like I'm talking to him from talking to one of the local game stores, it seems to be they get most of their money from cards, but they run a lot of tournaments and they rent out like halls and stuff to play like big tournaments from time to time. Like they do like regionals and stuff like that, so they do like they host the regionals for where we are, so it's one of those ones. But hey, there's a couple of you guys that I know that watch us that do run game stores, so I'd love to hear your input on how you have made your business successful, because the thing is,
made your memes be dreams.
Because the thing is, look, we did a video talking about the what was that, the live streaming one, like the one about all that stuff. And yes, it's dream job material, but don't think because it's dream job material does not mean you will. It's not going to be easy. You're going to run up against hurdles. That's all I can tell you. You will run into hurdles, and you need to be realistic and understand that you need to overcome these hurdles if you want to build a successful business. You know what I mean? Or will we do what the Wizard of the Coast? You want to make a successful lifestyle brand, guys? You want
yeah, yes, the Neckbeardia lifestyle brand. Well, it's like psyop.
Yeah. Well, I start selling those sunglasses on the busts.
Oh yeah,
start selling them. You want to walk around wearing these bad boys? You want to go? Yeah, you want to start using Beast and Cringe and Red Pilled in your daily for Calpguy?
A lifestyle brand for you.
You're not part of the Neckbeard army. You're not part of the Neckbeard army if you don't order several £1,000s worth of models every month from neckbeardia.co.uk. You need to represent. You need to represent the merch line. What was the one with Geek Paul? And he's got like,
this is the lifestyle.
Have you seen that one what Geek Paul does? And he has like these skill.
Oh yeah,
he's got like skill bags, and they're like fucking like $200 bags.
I've seen what Jake Paul does.
That's mad, man.
Now I'll say it out loud. Jake Paul's kind of a piece of shit, but he has his branding and business style on track.
That's what I would give him. Like his business side of things is quite literally insane, but I just don't like.
Is he a good person?
No,
Is he a good businessman? Yes, he is.
Is he a businessman that is targeting the most easy people to manipulate, i.e., children?
Yes.
Yeah, that look, that's all I would say. Like, I think he's up to no good. But anyway,
I've had a lapse of judgment.
yeah, look, I just felt just because the guy committed suicide doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to turn this into content, guys. That's don't need to be like.
You see a suicide, I see a business opportunity.
I see a viral video. Oh my god.
Jesus. I see a viral video.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like, what do you guys think? Like, I think we've talked about game stores quite a bit, but the way I think is game stores are like the lifeblood that really keeps like these like war games and role playing games like intact. Without game stores, I don't think it would really exist the way it does today. I don't think it would have.
With game stores, our memes would just.
Yeah, they would be, honestly. Like, they are quite. I would argue they're definitely the lifeblood, and without a good one, you're fucked. You know what I mean? And there's so many examples of bad ones.
Well, you're not fucked. You're just really it's really just not as fun.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But anyway, look, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know what you think. Also, deck of many triggers. We're working on that, and also
deck of many triggers.
I think you guys will really enjoy that. And also, there is a Kickstarter going live. It might already be live by the time this video's up. This actually might be the.
Knowing how slow you are, probably.
This might be actually. It might already be up by the time this video's live, and if it is, I'll just add it in at the start of the video. Anyway, look, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know what you think, and if
you merely adopted the triggers, I monetized it. Anyway,
right, see you guys later. No, you go for it.
No. Just don't give your money to folks who don't deserve your money. Which is why, like, me and James, we do our best to like say, hey, we know me and James, we know what the score is, all right, on who holds the power here in terms of who's successful and who's not. And don't give your money to people who treat you like trash.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Unless you're paying for that service, and like
unless you're a pen and dominatrix for little cock and ball torture.
Yeah, unless you're into that shit.
You're into that shit, But anyway, look, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know what you think. If you were to own a game store, how the fuck would you make successful? For all I can say is, for me, it would be making something better that you can't do at home. It needs to be better than an online store, and it needs to be better than playing at home, and that's what you need to achieve. And if you can do that,
meet or beat the bare minimum.
Yes. That is the bare minimum, and if you can't do that, you don't get into business. Alright, hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye!
All those moments will be lost in time.